Hey guys, welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, as you can see, we're pretty reined in here on the farm. The dams are full, water tanks are full, and as you can see, geez, it's looking nice and green, isn't it? We've got quite a few hundred acres here, and it's looking real nice now. I'm really happy with the results. So, yeah, this video isn't about that, obviously, guys. This is more about just an informal video where I just talk about a few things that really have been on my mind of late, and I guess a few things that need clearing up. One of the things I did there on Facebook, I put up a post there, as I do over time, and it was about firearm safety courses, and saying that, introduced another 7 people, to get their firearms licensed this week. And that's over 100 in the last year that I've done. Okay, so obviously I'm very happy with that, because the more people that get into shooting that obviously are good and responsible people, well, that reflects positively on all of us, and also increases our membership, our numbers, money going through clubs and organisations, and public land hunting in some states. Yeah, there's a whole heap of positives with it. So what I'd like to do is just, I guess, put the idea in your head. Well, you can do that too. I'm not saying you can hold, an instruction course. You need to obviously get a licensed, firearm instructor to run that course, but you can coordinate it. In other words, you can go and you can ask your friends, like at your work colleagues, or, friends in your local, sports club, or whatever it is, and just say, hey, look, I'm organising a safety course. Would you be interested in getting your firearms license? And a lot of people, you would be so surprised, that go, oh, wow, I really wanted to do that. And, oh, thanks for asking. Yep, absolutely, I'd love to. So what you need to do, obviously, is approach a firearm instructor, okay, in your local area, and get some dates when they could do a private session for yourself and, your friends, work colleagues, that sort of stuff. Ask them how many people they need as a minimum. So that might be, say, 5 people, it may be 10 people. Get the price. And obviously, go ahead and ask your friends and so forth, and get more people into shooting. It's a really great way to increase the numbers of responsible, good people getting into shooting, which also has a positive effect as you go on down the track, because obviously that has a lot of bearing on who votes, for more gun-friendly parties as opposed to very anti-gun parties when it comes to state and federal elections, okay? So there is a very, I guess, long-term strategy, behind this. So yeah, so guys, have a think about that. That's something that really is, something that is a positive for all of us. So I encourage you to put aside, your own plans, this weekend or whatever, and start prioritizing some other people and getting them into shooting, and prioritize doing something for the shooting sports, not for yourself, okay? Do something for the sport overall, and that's what will help us as shooters overall. Now, the other thing that I'd like to talk about, and this was sort of brought up in the last Q&A about, getting into a, property and stuff like that. I do get that question a lot, and I guess, I don't know, I got a lot on my plate, guys. Those of you who actually, know me, and have known me for some time, usually just shake your head and just say, how in the world do you find time to do everything that you do? And look, sometimes I ask myself that, but it's like anything, you just do one little chore at a time, and then, you just get through your work list of things that you've got to do. But getting into a rural property and being a primary producer is is a big step, and there's a lot of shooters that, like to toy with the idea of going down that path. I guess in some ways it's not as hard as what a lot of people would think it would be, because there's not a lot of information out there on how to actually sort of get into it. I was lucky, because when I was growing up, we had a family farm, quite a few thousand acres, and it was crops and and also beef cattle. So so I had that exposure and everything at a young age, and then obviously I concentrated more on it later on in life, after I've done a variety of different things in my life, naturally, like most of us do. But it's really a good lifestyle, and there seems to be a really big push these days, with that sort of, I guess, alternate, clean type living, and getting away from the stresses of the city, and that sort of thing that you see these days. And that's another positive to getting into primary production and farming, is it sort of just lets you take a deep breath and get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, if that's what you've come from. So you know, positives with it. I mean, apart from, you know, your health positives there of just being out and more active and doing things, it's also, you know, a mental health positive in my view, because you know, a lot of people who are sitting around town, you know, a lot of the time they'll be just sitting there and they'll be watching TV or movies or whatever, and just not getting out and about, and especially with all the COVID stuff. Like, I mean, I sort of laughed with that because I thought, you know, COVID restrictions, I mean, yeah, I'm restricted to my farm. Yeah, what's the problem there? I can go out, I can shoot, I can, you know, I can drive around the property, I can go on hikes, I can, you know, do all that sort of stuff. There's absolutely no change. So I guess that's one really big positive, you know, through all this COVID stuff, where people who live in the city, you know, who have been restricted to apartments and stuff like that, just going absolutely stir crazy. Yeah, I really feel for them. That'd be pretty tough. So there's a lot of positives to it, guys, and I guess the biggest thing is that you know, you've just got to make the move. I think probably the best thing is if you've got like a partner and you've got family and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty hard if you're into shooting and you want to actually try to get out in the middle of nowhere where there's heaps of pigs and dogs and everything else to go out and hunt and shoot, but your family are just in the middle of nowhere. So I think you really need to have that nice balance. You know, when you're actually looking at getting into farming or having that rural property that you've got that you want to make a move to. So, you know, you do have to give up some things, like, for example, you know, like here on the farm, like I don't have ADSL or anything like that, you know. I've got like this, I got like mobile phone internet, so you know, you're limited with your plans with that and everything, so you can't just sit there and watch Netflix endlessly for days. Not that you would, I mean, you get out and enjoy the place, but you know, so you'll have to sort of give up that sort of thing. Yeah, certainly no Uber Eats or anything like that out here. You know, so there's a few things like that that you give up, but in return, what have you got? Well, I can walk out my back door whenever I want, and I can just, you know, do some shooting, have some fun. I don't have to go and sign in like I'm at a range, and I don't have to wait for ceasefires and all that sort of stuff. I can just go out when I want, have a plink, have a hunt, sight in a new rifle, whatever I want to do, and it's the freedom of enjoying that. And also the freedom of, after, you know, you do that, you know, you come back up to the farmhouse and you might just start a fire out the back there. You got no whinging neighbours that are going to complain because smoke's coming over their fence or anything like that. You know, you can sit there, cook on the open fire, enjoy a nice cold beer or wine with your dinner, and just watch the sun go down and enjoy that nice peaceful lifestyle. So you know, to me, that's what you know, living that farm life is about. It's not just the shooting part of it. It's the freedom and the good mental health from being out in nature. I mean, I don't think human beings are supposed to be, you know, boxed up and cooped up all the time. No animal for that matter is. So, you know, I think it's a really good way to, you know, enjoy those basics that we should all be enjoying, in my view, as human beings. You know, just getting out, keeping fit, all that sort of stuff. That brings me to my next topic. Okay, so a lot of you guys, now I've been getting a lot of messages about this, and there's been a lot of comments about it as well. You guys have been saying, well, geez, Oz, you know, like you've been dropping all this weight, and yeah, you're looking really fit, and you know, what's happening there, and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I have. Look, nothing too special behind it, really. I mean, you know, once again, people who have known me for many, many years have known at different times I've been super fit. You know, then other times I've just, yeah, I've just been that snowed under with work commitments and all that sort of stuff, and I really just haven't bothered, and we go through flows. You know, there's been injuries, like I've had knee injury, I've had shoulder reconstruction, I had cancer, you know, like there's a lot of things that sort of hold you back physically and mentally going through a lot of that sort of stuff. But, you know, 2021 was really a, I guess, the time where I just thought, no, I've got to make more time for myself and just go back to what I love doing. And, you know, and I've always had that passion for, you know, eating well and keeping fit. And, you know, I've just been able to go back to that and concentrate on it. And, you know, I'm not talking like doing anything ridiculous. I mean, you know, if you guys are interested, I can run you through, I can show you what, you know, what I do, from like, you know, normal sort of eating plans to just general fitness that isn't going to kill you. You know, you can still live a normal life and that sort of thing, and not, you know, get, I guess, you know, ridiculously super strict and, you know, just be exercising for hours and hours a day. It doesn't have to be like that, you know. So if there's interest, by all means comment below. But yeah, so what I've done basically, guys, is I've just taken it a notch down with the reviews, in the sense of, you know, trying to just live and breathe it every single day at my own detriment of, you know, not being able to put time into myself and family and stuff like that. So yeah, 2021's just been that time where I've been able to just catch up with family more and spend a bit more time with friends, you know, because so many times you go, oh yeah, we're going to catch up. Yeah, let's catch up. And nothing ever happens because, you know, you're too busy working on the farm, or, you know, I'm doing reviews, you know, or I'm working. And it's just, you know, it's just sort of, it gets to the stage where you just go, oh, I just don't want to make the excuses anymore. I want to make more time for good friends and, you know, just be able to get my life back to where I like it. So it's about that healthy balance there. So yeah, so guys, I'm definitely not sick or anything like that. You know, a few guys have said it to me, messaged me and said, oh, you know, Ozzie, everything okay? You haven't had melanoma come back or anything like that and losing weight because of cancer and things? No, not at all. Just eating a lot, you know, cleaner. I've been doing a lot of work on the farm and everything, which obviously is really good for that cardio sort of fitness, you know, and then just taking the time to actually, you know, concentrate on putting aside some time for fitness and just enjoying the outdoors. Taking Hank to the beach. We've done that a couple of times. That's been a really new experience for him as well. So yeah, just overall trying to get that healthy life balance. But so yeah, guys, I don't really know the purpose of this video. I guess it was more just to get a few things off the chest and answer a couple of questions with what I've just been getting a lot of lately. But just have a think about what your passions are in life. I think that's the big thing. You know, for me, obviously, shooting and introducing people to shooting and the outdoors and that healthier lifestyle is something I'm very, very passionate about. So, you know, just think about ways that you can introduce people, you know, to shooting. Obviously, if you can't organise a firearm safety course for people, take someone to the range who's new. Do it this weekend, you know, and start them off on like a 22. You know, don't go putting them behind a 375 H&H. You know, don't be silly like that. Introduce someone to the fun of shooting through a 22 rimfire. You know, and where they're not going to be hurt the recoil or the noise or anything like that. Put the target close enough, you know, 25, 50 yards, and just have a little bit of fun and introduce them from there. And you'll find that they'll really start to love and enjoy it. And that's one other person that's going to have a very different view, you know, on shooting when they're in social circles, you know, like whether it's on the weekend talking at a family barbecue, or they're out at a restaurant with their friends and everything, and someone might bring something up anti about firearms. Well, there's somebody else there that's actually going to have a positive input because they've had the exposure and the experience to it. So that's why I sort of see it as really important. Yeah. So anyhow, guys, we'll leave it at that. Like I said, you know, no real serious point to the video, I guess, other than just putting a few ideas out there. And hey, I'm reined in here, so there's not a great deal I can do video wise for you. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me waffle on a bit. All right, guys, we'll see you shortly on the next review. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you then.